ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees. At the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh in North Kolkata, where Sri Ramakrishna came on 25th of February 1885, after his birthday celebration in that year, to witness a drama in Star Theatre entitled Brishaketu, who is the son of Karna. It's a drama, natak, staged by Sri Girish Chandra Ghosh, and on the way he dropped at his residence because he was his intimate devotee. And there was a discussion on the spiritual matters. It appears in the fifth volume of the original Bengali presentation, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, 5:17:1, fifth volume, 17th chapter and first section. And in the second volume of the Hindi translation, Sri Ramakrishna Bachanamrit, volume 2, chapter 111 and section 2, and in the 32nd chapter of the English presentation, chronologically rendered English presentation, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now here I already mentioned, we have been discussing this for several weeks, that we have some peculiar, notable characteristics of Sri Ramakrishna, that Swami Vivekananda said Sri Ramakrishna is the Avatara Varishtha, the greatest of incarnations. We have a topic in the coming birthday celebration of Sri Ramakrishna, the Sri Ramakrishna ki avatar ki visheshata by Swami Gunneshananda in the spiritual retreat to be held, Bhakta Sammelan, to be held on 17th of March. There we discussed the special characteristics of Sri Ramakrishna. Here we find briefly that we have to understand his life in order to replicate his message in our own individual spiritual sadhana. The incarnation, God incarnates as a human being so that the human beings may become divine. God becomes man so that man may become God. Now what is the, so we have to read between the lines. Now what is the special characteristics here? Now Sri Ramakrishna is God incarnate. And we know that any, much less God, any saint, saintly person, good person, now it is taken for granted that they will keep the company of the holy. We also do. We go to his saints and seers, venerable monks, and those who are in touch with God for making our life recharged with spirituality. That is called satsang. Now, satsang is most important in our life. So, but you have to learn a special message of Sri Ramakrishna. He is doing his satsang amid the devotees of Calcutta. Calcutta is a place of all worldly people, worldly minded people. Calcutta is not a place of pilgrimage. Even now, nobody goes to Calcutta to have holy pilgrimage as such. They can go to some temples, Kalighat, Dakshineshwar, etc. But Calcutta is that city of joy, a worldly person. Now here he is going and is visiting not only exalted people, he is visiting householders, common householders. And he is teaching us that they are also the citadels of God. This message you have to learn. The devotees must know who they are. When I say to a particular devotee that you are great, how, Swamiji, how am I great? I am an ordinary person, I am a sinner. Now, this is not my certificate. A certificate given by Sri Ramakrishna. He is coming to the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh, who is known out and out a person of immoral character. He himself acknowledges that I am a sinner, and wherever I sit, the ground below my seat becomes unholy. This is my condition, and people also acknowledged. But Sri Ramakrishna is giving a great certificate to him, and is coming to his house unwanted and making a company of the devotee. Isn't there other good places in Calcutta? Why is he going to his place? Now, in this connection, I will give an anecdote kept somewhere else. That Ashwini Kumar Datta was an exalted person. Ashwini Kumar, he met Sri Ramakrishna. One day during the conversation, Sri Ramakrishna asked him, have you met Girish Chandra Ghosh? He says, sir, I have not met him, but I have heard about him. Then Sri Ramakrishna says that, okay, but he is a very good person. But he retorted, Ashwini Kumar retorted. But then, sir, he is a drunkard. Sunechi maud khaye. Normally, who is a sharabi, drunkard, is not considered to be a good person to be kept in touch, to be keeping company. Sri Ramakrishna says, khakna kotodin khabe. Let him drink. How long will it continue? Now his life shows, after some time, he not only gave up drinking, he became one of the greatest saintly person of that age. And he was seated in the same seat with Swami Vivekananda and other great monks of the order. It's a fact. He received Gerua from the hand of Sri Ramakrishna and used to proclaim that I am the greatest miracle of Sri Ramakrishna, that how a sinner is converted into saint. Now the message is that a sinner or a saint is not in his being, but in his becoming. This is the message. That everyone, Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. And the goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, internal and external. Do this either by work or worship or knowledge or contemplation, by one or more or all of these, and be free. That is the whole of religion. So we have to understand the message of religion. Religion is becoming. We don't come as great, but we have greatness hidden within us. So he is studying the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, watching following the life of the great people and the incarnations, so that we can imbibe this information and implement in our life. Now, such is the house that everyone must understand that we are not only the chosen, the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, but we have great possibilities waiting for us, which can be manifested by being little serious about our life. Now, next we find that he is coming to see a movie. In those days, there was a movie, there was drama. Now, seeing a drama or a movie, they are not considered to be religious, to be common to religious people. They don't go usually. Even now, if I see a monk or a great saint to watching a movie in a theater or etc., we become upset. What is going on here? You have to understand, it is not in the act, but the purpose of the visit. He is going there to intensify his devotion. He is definitely not going to all this bogus drama. Actually it is mentioned here that he went to the Star Theatre to see a movie of a devotion of Vrishaketu, the great sacrifice of Karna, where he is killing his own son to give the norm for his verdict, his Data Karna, Satyavadi. Whatever he said, he do it, and he sacrificed his own son, the great sacrificial fire. After that, there is the following drama in this theatre. They asked, will you see the drama which is the next in the line? What is the drama? He said, it is Vibhav Vibhrat. Sri Ramakrishna became very much upset. He said that that marriage conflict. He says that after the porridge, পায়েসের পরে কি আর তেতো খেতে ভালোবাসে? What are you doing? It's the cream of devotion you have served, and then all this bogus you want to say, I will never come. So we have to understand, the intention is not in the work, but the purpose behind that. It was whatever is good to intensify our devotion is welcome. But we are usually governed by the public criticism. Sometimes we even feel that it is to be done, it's a good thing, but you cannot do because of public criticism. That is to be taken care of. We are more concerned about our prestige and position than our spiritual welfare. This message he is giving here. And now when he is saying, third is his method, his own life and his suggestion for the spiritual discipline, sadhana. Now he says that for householders, he has a different prescription. He knows that the householders are busy with their day-to-day activities, and they have little time for spending with God alone. So he didn't say, usually the solution is that you finish your worldly activities, and when you are through, you are retired, you finished your worldly activities, and then you devote your mind to God. That was the usual prescription so far. That first of all you do it work, that brahmacharya garastha vanaprastha sannyas. But Sri Ramakrishna, the new incarnation of God, says no, you should do your worldly activities and contemplation of God simultaneously. That is the new method. We never heard before that. And in simple word, in Bengali he says, Eo koro, o koro. Those who are Bengali, they can understand. Simple message. Though this is not nothing new, it is in the scriptures, but nobody presented in such clear and simple terms. Do this and do that also. This, in the Bhagavad Gita, the same message was given. Chapter 7, verse 8. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara jyutyacha. This Ramakrishna Maharaj, the 10th president of the Ramakrishna order, used to say, this is the central message of Bhagavad Gita. Only one half slok, half verse. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara jyutyacha. Arjuna, Sri Krishna is prescribing, Arjuna this proposed that this battlefield, in the battlefield, this job of being a butcher, a killer of human beings and animals, this is not a good job, this is not spiritual work. Please allow me that to retire and I will go on foot and beg my food, Bhiksha Jivi, and call on God. We all feel that is the best way to do. Giving up all these worthless activities and being in the thought of divine. But to him, Sri Krishna is saying, Yuddhacha, your duty is to fight. Kill those people. Because they are unrighteous. You are a Kshatriya. Your job is to restore discipline. You are a lawmaker. Those who are miscreants, you must punish them. That is your job. That is the job of the profession. So you do your professional duty. Whatever is earmarked for you. It is battling, it is fighting for a Kshatriya, it is trading for the Vaishya, serving for the Shudra, and teaching a profession for the Brahmana. So whatever profession you are continuing by the will of God, continue that. Evo karo. That is your duty. And O karo means, with that, ma manusmara, call on God, call on me also. Remember me and do your work. Evo karo, o karo. Simple. And when it has to be done, sarveshu kaleshu. All the time. It's not part-time. So far we are thinking, even now we think that spirituality is a part-time job. Morning and evening. Morning we sit for some time, half an hour, thinking of God. Evening half an hour, that is holy activity. And rest is worldly activity. Doing work in this society, thinking that it is all bogus, it's not non-spiritual. This is not the message of the day. Because whole life, a holistic attitude. There is nothing secular here. Sister Nivedita says, as per the teaching of Swami Vivekananda, there is no difference between secular and sacred. No difference. Everything is sacred. And Sri Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kale ma manuspana juddhyacha. And then he analyzes. He makes it that understandable to us why this simple formula works. He rationalizes this statement, this half slok, in the following verse. Following half verse of that same verse, he says, Mayarpita manobuddhir mameva eshyasi asamshayam. If you do this, evo karo, what happens? That when you are engaged in my thought, your mind is engaged in God. So when you do work, the mind should be engaged in the thought of God. Mind can never become idle. Mind gets attached automatically. Like a piece of iron gets attached with a magnet. Automatic is the magnetic field. So our mind is like piece of iron, and it is in the magnetic field of worldly enjoyments, world, Vishay. The world is constantly attracting our mind, like a magnet attracts the iron filings. So it is said in the Upanishad, Paranchi khani batina svayambhu, tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman. We are closest with God. God is within us. Nothing is closer to us than God. Everything we are keeping company, however close it may be, but God is within our heart, within our inner being. Ishvara sarvabhutanam niddesha arjuna tishtati. But the irony is tragedy of life that we are away from God. Why? Because of this. Paranchi khani vathina svayambhu. Our sense organs are projected outside. Like a horn of a mic is projected outside. So our sense organs, they are projected outside, like the ear sees the song of the world, eyes see outside, everything is projected out. So when it is projected outside, the Vishay, the worldly scenario is constantly attracting our indriyas, sense organs. As a result, our mind is scattered in the outside world. Tasmat parang pashyati. That's why we see the world, see outside. Na antaratman. We do not get a chance to see what is within. That is the difficulty. We are constantly being engaged in the world outside, and we are misdirected. This world is attracting us because the sense organs are projected outside. Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanang vaishat avitta chakshunam nitattam ichhan. But there are one or two wise people. Not all are like this. One or two wise people, they cogitate in their mind, yes, world is outside is very attractive, but there is something more attractive which is within, which I am missing. In order to get to that, he abritta chakshu amritattam ichhan. In order to get that immortality, the joy of the immortal, they close their eyes and direct their vision inside. So the mind which was projected, the mind is in between. Sense organs are constantly drawing the mind out. Mind is not going, sense organs are going. And mind is forced out, but kaschit dhira, one or two wise person, they are not allowing the mind go out, they direct the mind inside. Amritattam ichhan, they enjoy the bliss of the immortality, the bliss within. They enjoy the bliss within by directing their mind inside. So mind is most important, not what you do. Bhagavan mon dekhen. God sees where our mind is. He doesn't see what we do. He sees where our mind is. See, Sri Ramakrishna gives extreme example that a person was going, and then with some friends. Now, they going and attend this discourse, spiritual discourse. Some friends were attending the spiritual discourse. Two persons, they are friends, that are attending spiritual discourse. Now, one of them, he felt that this discourse is very monotonous. He told his friend, let me go and enjoy life with a prostitute. The other person said, no, that's not correct. Let me enjoy this spiritual conversation. So the other person went and he was spending his time with the prostitute, and the other person was hearing the discourse. The person who was enjoying the prostitute, he felt very much ashamed. He says, what a blunder I have made. I am wasting my time, but I should have kept my mind in the discourse and thought of God. So all the time he was thinking of God. His body was there, but his mind was in that pravachan. On the other hand, it's a story of Sri Ramakrishna. The person who was hearing the discourse, he was thinking, what a fool I am. What this bogus person, this teacher is saying, I am wasting my time, and my friend is so intelligent, he is enjoying life. After that death, the person who was attending the discourse went to hell, and the person who was in the cross quarter went to heaven. Sri Ramakrishna says, this is the difference because of our condition of the mind. So whatever we do, we have to keep our mind engaged in God, or else it will flow to the world. Mind will not stay. It has to be forced down by thinking of God, by repeating His name. Simple solution. Ma manusmaru. And then do your work, which is assigned to you, not other things. It was given to Arjuna to fight, but if he was belonging to the Brahmin profession, he was allowed to do study and teaching. That's not his cup. Ma manusmaru juddhaja. This is the message. She says, evo karo, o karo. Simple. Now, this message he didn't give to Narendranath, to a young spiritual aspirant who is to become a monk. He gave to a householder who was Atul Chandra Ghosh, brother Birish Chandra Ghosh, who was an attorney in Calcutta High Court. He is a vakil. उनको बताया ऐसे करो. And he was a non-Brahmin. He went to Ghosh family. This is his prescription. Now there was a Brahmin sitting there, a Parosi, a neighbor. He says, sir, is it possible for non-Brahmins to become spiritual? Because they belong to high caste system, he was there. Now, even now, there is a tremendous caste distinction here, high and low. Sri Ramakrishna, without any mistake, repeatedly said that these are all the age-old divisions which should be eliminated. In one caste, there is the caste of devotee. One class of people who calls on God, and the other class who are worldly minded. Those who want to receive God's grace, they belong to one caste. And those who think that deserve less priority, they belong to other caste. So he says that, but he says that according to our heredity, if a person is born of a non-Brahmin parental, how can he realize God? Sri Ramakrishna said, why? He gives 3 counter examples. That in Kali Yuga, it has been mentioned that even non-Brahmins, even Shudras, they can attain to highest glory. They can become spiritual. For example, Shabari, Ruidas, Guhak, Chandal, ityadi. He gave three names here. Now, Shabari we know, we have discussed at length. He belonged to the butcher. This Shabari is Shabar, the hunters. They kill animals. That is their profession. And she was in the previous birth, she was a princess. But because of her high progeny, she was devoured to be in company of the holy. She went to this Kumbh Mela, and the sadhu said, we cannot meet you because you are a beautiful lady of a high caste. You are devoured to our pravachan. So he prayed to God that he may be born as the ugly woman in a low caste family, so that he will not be devoured, rejected by the monks to do their seva. So then she was given shelter by her guru, and she was calling on God. And the guru said that to continue. Then he said, I am devoured, that people, because I am a woman and I am Kurupa, very ugly looking, it comes to a very low caste, what is to be done? He said, you continue your prayer, staying wherever you are, God will come to you. भगवान चल के आपको आश्रम में आएंगे, आप बैठे रहे. That's what she did. And finally Ramachandra had to walk down to her installation, bless her. So this is one example he says. And then secondly is Ravidas. Now, Ravidas also we have been discussing for the last several weeks. He was also born of a Chamar family, the cobblers, shoemakers. Now, Ravidas was not only making shoes, he continued making shoes till the last day of his life. Though he realized God, he became a guru, great guru. He was guru of Mirabai. But he said, no, this is the profession given to me by God. Juddhacha, ma manuspara juddhacha. I will continue this profession, but I will remember God all the time. That's what he did. And that is what his message is. Ravidas. That we have been discussing. And he was a great, exalted, saintly person. He proved his miraculous power, became the guru of that age, and even now he has a great following. He is belonging to Chamar family, but he became the highest saint. Now his message we are giving in a nutshell, what he is taught, what is the central theme of his message. His message is खान पान की शुद्धि और संतों महात्माओं का सत्संग का प्रमुख उद्देश्य है सद्गुरु द्वारा नाम की बख्शीश प्राप्त करना. Our spiritual this discipline by our penance, by going to tirtha, by doing all our this japam, dhyan and holy company, what you earn? We earn the interest to repeat God's name. Naam ki bakshish. You develop the joy in repeating His name. Now, when I was a brahmachari, when I joined Belun Math, then Swami Muktinathanandaji was there as an assistant general secretary. We were very close with him. He used to come. And then he told me that you see, you should continue to do your japam regularly. So I said, yes, we are doing, but we are not getting any joy. People say that by repeating God's name, people are very happy. It's just a simple exercise without any this joy whatsoever, not a minimum joy. But whereas the other things I feel very happy in the world, other activities is very, even work I find, but by repeating God's name I don't get any joy. He says, when you get joy in repeating God's name, then you don't have to exert to repeat God's name. It will become automatic. ভগবানের নাম করে যখন আনন্দ পাবে তখন জানবে হয়ে গেছে. Then you will know your work is over. When you get a joy, you feel the taste of repeating God's name, then your work is over. তখন জানবে আর ভয় নেই. উনি বলে এই কথাটা তার, যখন ভগবানের নাম করে আনন্দ পাবে তখন জানবে আর ভয় নেই. There is no fear. Your mind will not go anywhere else. Mind has got the taste. Now this stage has to be attained as per Vedas by doing penance, the company of the holy, whatever it be. Once the moment you develop a joy, develop a taste in God's name, then work is over. That's what Vedas says. सच्ची भक्ति को व्याख्यान करते हुए रविदास जी ने स्पष्टतः कहते हैं कि नाम भक्ति ही परमात्मा की सच्ची भक्ति है. व्हाट डज इट डू? जो आपा या अहंकार को मिटाकर हमें परमात्मा से मिलाती है. दिस इज द सेंट्रल मैसेज. somehow we should develop a taste in the joy in God's name. Ma manusmara. Do your work, but continuously repeat God's name till you develop a love for God's name. Repeating, you start getting joy. Now he says that repeating God's name is God's pure devotion. We pray to God that I may have devotion. ঠাকুর বলছেন যে ভক্তি প্রার্থনা করতে হয়. The bhakti je page the lokkon ki. What is the sign that I've got devotion? Sign is that I get a joy in repeating God's name. That is the sign. And what does it do? That Ravidas is saying कि जो आपा, colloquial आपा means अहंकार, इस अहंकार को मिटाकर हमें परमात्मा से मिलाती है. Simple thing. I said that God is closest with us. हृदय में बैठे हैं. Why are you not able to meet Him? Because in between there is अहंकार. This our जो ego, I and mine, aham mameti, merapan meipan, that is closing the I and mine, our touch with God, standing as a wall. Now when we develop a taste of joy in God's name, that removes that wall and makes us get united with God. Simple thing. So Ravidas says in his Doha, that's in Punjabi, and part of it is quoted in the Guru Granth Sahib. His text is a part of Guru Granth Sahib. He is considered as the word of God. Guru Granth Sahib is God. They are a portion of Guru Granth Sahib. Several verses from belongs to Ravidas. ऐसी भगति ना होई रे भाई. The bhagati cannot come all on the, it doesn't fall from heaven. राम नाम बिनु जो नहीं कहु करिए सो सब भरम कहाए. Whatever you are doing other than repeating God's name is all your vain attempt. So how to get it? This आपो गई तब भगति पाई ऐसी भगति है भाई. आपो मतलब अहंकार. जब अहंकार चला जाएगा भक्ति तब होगा जब भगवान को नाम करोगे. राम मिलाय अपने गुण खोए रिद्धि सिद्धि सभी जो गंवाए. एवरीथिंग विल गेट. कही रविदास छूटी सब आस तब हरि ताही कई पास. When you get God, you get everything and you all this, that longing is over. Now he gives a stage. First you have a spiritual discipline, then you develop a taste in the name of God, and your ahankar goes. Now when the ahankar goes, then is the most difficult stage of a spiritual life, that we develop a viraha, intense longing for not being able to be in touch with God. That's what Ravidas says. That नाम भक्ति द्वारा जैसे अहंकार का पर्दा फट जाता है, परमात्मा से मिलने की चाह अधिक अधिक तीव्र हो जाती है. इस चाह सच्चे भक्त और प्रेमी की विरह अवस्था की आकुलता का वर्णन करते हुए रविदास जी कहते हैं that viraha becomes a very tremendous. He said the dark night of the soul. The soul is a tremendous viraha vyatha. There is a pang of separation. See, Ramakrishna used to feel. He used to cry, rolling on the ground. There's so much of the pang of separation for not being able to see mother. चलत हलत बैठत उठत धरी हूँ तुम्हारो ध्यान रविदास तु मुहि मन बसई चरण कंबल की आन. कोयल तरसे अब कु चातिक तरसद नीर रविदास लोचे दरस को प्राण परत नहीं धीर. जू सुधी आवत पीव की बिरह उठत तन आगी जीव चुने की कांकड़ी जो छिड़के तो आगी. That is feeling that that fire is burning in the heart. आग जल रहा है. विरह अग्नि जाके खोले हम. विरह अग्नि. प्रेमी की ये गहरी व्यथा तभी शांत होती है जब प्रियतम परमात्मा से उनका मिलाप होती है. This goes when you get in touch with God. And when you are in touch with God, then the job is over. And इस अद्भुत आनंद की अवस्था का वर्णन करते रविदास जी कहते हैं, प्रेम पंथ की पालकी रविदास बैठियो आए सांचे स्वामी मिलत को आनंद कहियो न जाए. after this spell is over, when you develop this panging, this intense longing for God, then the time is no more far when you'll be able to reach God. This Sri Ramakrishna says, when there is longing for God, then you feel that this eastern sky is rent with red color, that ये पूर्व गगन में लालिमा छा गई, अभी सूर्योदय का ज़्यादा देर नहीं है. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says in Vachanamrita. The eastern sky is rendered red, the sun is going to rise. Whenever there is pang of separation in the heart for not being able to see God, then know for certain that God is going to come very soon. And when He comes, there is no end of joy. You are bereft with tremendous, unending, forever joy and satisfaction, fulfillment in life. So ये जो इधर बताया, पीतम को जो दर्शन पाए, मन मंदन मह भय उजियार, हो मरहि तो न निधि, पाए कृपा किन्हीं राम करतार. बहुत जन्म को बिछड़ी पीर पाए, जन्म जन्म को बिलहरार. इस जो भगवान की दूरत्व का जाइए सब खत्म हो जाता है. निहचल आनंद निधि मिली, बिलगो आदि अपार, रविदास राम सुमरन सारसो, पाई दरस सुरार, पिया राम रसु पियारे. Now this is a golden period when so this is the total journey of the soul to the Almighty. So all Ravidas is saying, which is in consonance of Sri Ramakrishna's statement and Bhagavad Gita, we start our life with various spiritual practices in order to develop this taste of joy in God's name. And when we repeat God's name, we develop a pang of separation, and then ends with the culmination with the meeting with God. We continue our discussion further in our next introduction. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampāridha vigraham vai ईशावतारम परमेशमिड्यम तम रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम तत्सत्. श्री रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Let us close with a chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. एक साथ भगवान का नाम लें. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम राम कृष्ण, हरि ओम. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om.